Hey everybody, welcome to a kind of different tutorial today on my channel. And today we're going to be talking about thumbnails and how to make them. Because in my personal opinion, I think I've gotten better at making thumbnails because I've put a lot of time and work into making them in the past couple months and years. So basically, this is the thumbnail that we're going to be making. So I have a video that I made for Grand Theft Auto, and it's it right here. So basically the video is done, but now we need to make the thumbnail for it. So this is the finished thumbnail, but I'll show you how I got to making this, because thumbnails are a very important thing to know how to make because they are the very first impression of the video. So basically I'm just going to close out of this. So nope, don't want to save it, and we don't want this either. So basically what we're going to be talking about, and I will be showing you guys how I made that thumbnail. So first of all, I have a template that I use for other games and other things other than Minecraft that I play. So I'm going to open this up, and as you can tell, this is the template. The main template is the bottom piece right here. The reason I have the template is because that way everything is the same for every thumbnail, and that way there's consistency between your videos and your thumbnails, and that way people also know that it's your video. So basically, I just have the thumbnail template set up. I'm just going to get rid of the stuff I don't need, like the background, because you'll be changing that. I don't need that. Now I do want to keep the flame. That is personal. That is part of my my template. So basically what we need to do is, depending on the theme of your video, you need pictures to use for your thumbnails. So for mine, since mine is Formula 1, I have this picture here, which I got of Lewis Hamilton. Okay, now there's a lot of other pictures I could have used. I could have used maybe this one for the helmet to resemble the racing helmet and things like that, but I didn't want to use this one because I wanted to have the actual face of familiarity to some people who do watch Formula 1. Okay, so I already have these downloaded, so I'm not going to save them for now. But then next, we need a background picture for the actual background itself. So that's what this is. Which one did I download? I think I downloaded this one. So just kind of took the snapshot of it, and I saved it out to my desktop. And last but not least, we need the car for the actual picture itself. So I'm going to go back, and basically I can just type in ULA Formula 1 Ferrari ARI. It's really hard for me to see the thing. So basically I'm just gonna look, and usually what I do is, I forgot to do this, I type in PNG after. The PNG means you basically don't have any background, it's just the car itself. So basically you can choose from any of these. Now you want to think of the thumbnail. So the one I chose was this one. Okay, because it's clear, it's good size, and it's going to have good proportions to the actual thumbnail itself. So after you have your pictures, we're going to go back into our thumbnail template, and we are using Photoshop if I did not mention that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that picture of Lewis Hamilton, which we had right here. And if you don't have a PNG, so this one isn't a PNG because you can see the background here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to rasterize this layer, so convert to smart object and then rasterize. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, what tool is it? What is this called? The quick selection tool. Basically I'm just going to draw around him, and I'm going to delete whatever it gets rid of. Now sometimes you got to be careful to make sure it doesn't get rid of the actual thing you're trying to keep, but luckily in this one it kept everything basically that we need for him. It kept the main shape of him. So what I'm going to do is then drag this into our thumbnail template. So it's kind of small right now, and one of the main things with thumbnails is you want it to be pretty big, because when it's something big, you can it's more eye-catchy. So I'm going to go to transform, and I'm going to scale, and if you hold down shift and then take a corner, you can just basically drag it up. And I want it about this size. It just happened to be perfect size there. And again, you want it to be pretty big, because then it kind of catches your eye a little bit more. And I'm going to have him on the left side because he's going to be our main focus. I want the main focus to be on my flame behind it, because to me that's the more eye-catchy part. That's going to draw you to the main focus of the actual thumbnail. So I'm going to hit enter, and then it keeps him there, right? So now we have Lewis Hamilton in our thumbnail. Next, I'm going to drag in that Ferrari. So the Ferrari, since it's already a PNG, we don't need to worry about cleaning it up. So we're just going to press enter. Now notice that it's kind of facing the wrong way. It's kind of covering him up. We don't want that. So I'm going to go to edit, and we're going to go to transform, and I'm going to flip horizontal. Now it's facing the right way. Now when we move it over, it's not actually in touch of him. But also notice that when we drag it over, it's going over Lewis Hamilton's face, which we don't want that. So come over to the right and basically drag your Formula 1 car, or whatever picture you have, underneath the layer that's most important. So I think the scale of the actual Formula 1 car itself is pretty good scale, so we don't really need to change it. I do want to make sure that you can see the entire car, but I also want to make sure that it's not going to be covering up or being behind Lewis Hamilton himself. And I also want to get it as close as possible to the main thing, the main template piece down here. Alright, so that's basically part 2. So basically you have 2 pictures. In most thumbnails, I like to use 2 pictures. I like to have one of a familiar face or something that kind of catches your eye, and then I like to have just another piece that kind of resembles what's going on in the video. And I like having 2 pieces because it also is more eye-catching. You're using more of your space that you're given. So then we need our background, so we're going to come in here. Now the background, it doesn't really matter about the size too much, because if you notice, it's pretty small here, but I'm just going to drag it into the corners to make it fit to the right scale, just like this. Now we want this to be all the way to the back, so behind everything. What we're going to do now is go up to Window. We want to go to Adjustments. Actually, sorry, go to Filter. That's what I meant to do. Go to Blur. And we want to go to Gaussian Blur. And I usually keep mine around 6.6, somewhere around there. Now, the reason you're doing this is because you want the things in the foreground, the things closest to you, to be the most eye-appealing. And since a YouTube thumbnail is so small, if you make the background a blur, you can still tell what it is, but yet everything closest to you in the foreground is going to be more clear, and that's the thing you want to focus on. So the next thing I'm going to do with that picture is I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, and Brightness/Contrast. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the brightness down. Usually I like to have my background pretty dark to again make the things in the foreground stand out just a little bit more than what they usually do. So we're looking pretty good. We still have a couple small touches to kind of work on. So I'm going to click on the Lewis Hamilton picture, just like this. And again, I'm going to go to Images and Adjustments, Brightness/Contrast. Now, instead of making him darker, we're actually going to make him a little bit lighter to again kind of make him stand out a little bit more. Now, obviously, you don't want to do it too much because this just looks weird. But you want to kind of get it enough because it started off here. It's a little bit too dark. If I kind of bring it up a little bit, it kind of makes him stand out a little bit more. Okay. Same thing with the car. We're going to go up to, where is it? Here it is. We're going to go up to, again, Image, Adjustments, Brightness/Contrast. Now this one, you really don't have to change too much. It's really just on personal preference. I'm going to turn down the brightness, actually I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Not by much. In contrast, you can basically keep it around the same. You don't really need to change it too much. You can probably keep it at the same level as the brightness, and boom. So we're not done yet. We do have a couple more things that we do have to add in, and being that this video is for Grand Theft Auto, you know, this image here doesn't really resemble Grand Theft Auto. It doesn't let me know that that's what it is. That's what the game is for. So basically we need the Grand Theft Auto logo. So I'm going to bring it in, and it's pretty big right now in comparison to everything else. So I'm going to scale it down just a little bit, not much, just a little. Right there looks about good. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag it into the middle here. Now the reason I'm doing that is because then the Grand Theft Auto logo lets me know that that's what the game is. That's what this video is about. But also I want to drag it behind the car. Just like, actually we want it to be in front of the car. I do not know what I was thinking there. Okay, so we want it to be behind Lewis Hamilton but in front of the car. So it needs to be in the middle. Now you don't need to do this with every thumbnail that you do. But in this one, for example, you don't know with the pictures that it's a Grand Theft Auto video. So with me throwing the logo in there, it automatically tells you that's what we're doing. That's the game that we're playing. So we're looking pretty good. The thumbnail's almost finished. But the thing we need to do now is come down here to our text, and we need to change that. Now for my text, I use the Source Sans Pro Black, and I like to keep caps locked on because when things are fully capitalized, it kind of catches your eye a little bit more. So I'm going to type in Formula 1, okay, and I'm going to, there's my mouse, just kind of drag it down towards the bottom a little bit, okay, and then I'm going to go back up to the new text, and this time I'm going to type in GTA 5 mods. That way you know that this is a mod for the game. So there's two things that resemble letting you know that it is a Grand Theft Auto video. You have the text right here, but the main thing is the logo. So many people know the logo that you want to use the logo if it's not noticeable on what the game is. And voila, your video and your thumbnail is done. You have a very eye-catching thumbnail now because you have so many different colors, you have so many different things in your thumbnail that really kind of makes it stand out from other people's. You have a person that somebody would know. You have a car that pretty much everybody knows, and that's kind of what this video is about, is the Formula 1 car. And we have the logo that lets you know that this is a Grand Theft Auto 5 video. And also down here we have GTA 5 mods to let you know that it is a mod, and also what the video is mainly about. That's kind of your title to the video, is your GTA 5's Formula 1. And voila, our thumbnail is done. So the main thing is, and again, this can go different for everybody. These are my personal preferences. But usually what I like to do is I like to have 2 pictures at least on my thumbnail. Okay, I like to have a thumbnail template. That way things are consistent throughout my videos. And I have enough space to work with, though, in that template. And really, you need to make sure the background is kind of blurred. And you want to make the background a little bit darker than everything else. So that way everything in the foreground stands out to you. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching, guys. I know this was kind of a different video. So if you want to see more videos like this, let me know. And I will talk to you guys later. So, bye-bye. A bump of another car. Whee! Uh-oh. Oh, no. Get out! Oh, I think the car hit us in the face. Alright. Swim up, Michael. Car number 3. Oh, man. Let's swim back over to shore and get a new car. Man, I think Formula 1 would be more interesting if it was actually like this, you know? Just having to get so many new cars every time you crash because they all go into the water. Man, this would be like a top sport. Okay, what's the... I want to jump up there. I think it was, what, H? Hancock mode enabled. Whee! Oh, I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that. Okay. Well, I didn't want to pull out the parachute. I just wanted to get back up. Damn it!